One of the biggest questions of CES 2025 was, how does the S95F from Samsung actually look? Well, that's kind of a hard answer because I've only seen this TV in the 83-inch screen size. There was a lot of speculation that the 83-inch version is going to be a QD OLED, but unfortunately, that's not going to be the case. And when asking about an 83-inch panel, Samsung Display is simply saying that they're not making an 83-inch panel at this time. They're not making a 42-inch or a 48-inch panel for TVs at this time either. So those sizes remain to be WOLED if you're buying a Samsung OLED TV in 2025. The primary reason to even really want the S95F right now for me is the 4th generation QD OLED technology. Now fortunately, I did see the 4th generation QD OLED technology firsthand at Samsung Display's event, but I'll have to tell you that this is a display event and they're really just showcasing the panel itself. So there's no real indication on what the actual TV for the S95F is going to look like. They had a side-by-side demo showing the 2024 version versus the 2025 version. And yeah, the 2025 version looked brighter, but again, it is really just hard to gauge how much better is it. They said it's more efficient and it is brighter overall. And Samsung is claiming that the S95F is going to be 30% brighter than any other OLED TV on the market. So with all these things in mind, I was really excited to see the S95F in person. But what I got was the 83-inch version, but I was just very disappointed I didn't even see a 77-inch, 55-inch, or a 65-inch version of this TV. So I can't even tell you how this TV actually looks. As for the anti-glare coating, it was improved for 2025. Samsung heard the complaints about the ambient lighting, creating problems for you if you have the lights in your house that are going to reflect off the TV. I showcased this last year in my review of the S95D, and I have to say that what I looked at CES does seem like an improvement. It also seems like the TV remains black when hit by light, so this is a nice improvement over the S95D. Still, I know that there's going to be a subgroup of people that are really disappointed that there is not going to be a glossy version of the S95F. And for those people, I really do understand your frustration. You want the latest and greatest that Samsung has to offer, but there's no glossy version of the screen. And it doesn't even look like anybody else is going to be making a QD OLED in 2025, as from everything that I'm hearing so far in terms of rumors, seems like Sony is going to opt out of QD OLED altogether. Now that's just a rumor and I don't know anything beyond what is printed on the internet from some randos. Everything that is said there could be false and we could be still looking at a QD OLED from Sony, but right now no other information is out there, so definitely take everything with a grain of salt. But if it is the case where we only get one 4th generation QD OLED in 2025 and it happens to be the S95F, you will only be able to get it with a anti-glare coating. And if that wasn't disappointing, then I also saw the S90F in person as well. But guess what? That was also an 83-inch version, which we all know uses a WOLED. So I'd love to tell you what the S90F looked like as a QD OLED as well, but I can't do that. And with all the question marks behind the S90D last year, whether or not it's going to be using a QD OLED in 2025 for the US, I don't know the answer to that question either. It's just going to be a hope that they are going to be using QD OLED in every size possible that they can. Because we know that 42, 48, and 83, not possible to get that in a QD OLED even if you wanted it, because Samsung Display just simply doesn't make that screen size. So when it comes down to the S90F being QD OLED, the chances of it being QD OLED in the US, pretty high in the 55-inch, 65-inch, or 77-inch, but it's no guarantee because some sizes in other regions last year, well, they didn't get the QD OLED and instead got a WOLED. Now the new caveat with this is that there's a new 4-layer OLED TV technology with the WOLEDs, but there's no indication whether or not Samsung is going to be adopting this or even adopting an MLA-based OLED. So it's something to watch for in 2025, and really right now it is a mystery on what is going to be going into these OLED TVs. For the S95F, S95F, we should be seeing a usage of the 4th generation QD OLED TV, as it is going to be the brightest OLED TV that Samsung has put out thus far. And with the S90F being quoted as 1300 nits by some at CES, I'd have to think that it's probably using the 3rd generation of QD OLED technology to achieve this. The only obstacle I see here is that the 1300 nits claim, if that is indeed from Samsung, then if they're not using QD OLED technology, they would have to try to use the new 4-layer OLED to achieve these brightness numbers. At least that's something you would think they would have to do. Again, there's no real answer here. We don't know whether or not it's going to be using the new panel or the old panel for the S90F. I really wish there was more transparency in which panels are being used, as it is something that even us, we could figure that out once we get the TVs in our hands. But why can't they just be transparent about it? Why can't they tell you on the box which panel you're getting? Why can't they come out and say it themselves on which panel they're going to be putting for each model? I really think that this is a disservice to the customers that buy these products, because it is something where they should know what they're buying at the end of the day. Last year's panel lottery with the S90D that I covered was one of my most watched videos on the channel, and it was because everybody was confused on what panel they're getting. And I really think that that's such an unfortunate situation where somebody would have to go out and watch a YouTube video just to find out what TV they're actually getting at the end of the day. But it looks like this is going to continue in 2025. If you were keeping an eye out on the S85D, but you didn't pull the trigger on it, the S85F is going to be coming out as the successor to it. It's said to be brighter and have better upscaling abilities than last year's models, so it's something to watch out for if you're in the market for the 85 series. But hey, let me know what you guys think of the 2025 Samsung QD OLED TVs. I would love to hear your answer. If you want to keep watching videos on 2025 TVs, definitely check out this one right here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, and I hope to see you in the next one.